Hi everyone and welcome back. In this video we are unboxing the 1/35th scale EXS bust by ST model. If I were to summarize this kit in one word, it would be careless, but I will go into details in a bit. So the box is very plain, as you can see, and to be fair I thought it would be a little bit bigger than this, though it's not small by any means. So this kit retails for 1000 RMB, which is quite a lot considering other similar busts go for around sort of 500-600 RMB. But let's open the box, and immediately you're greeted with some runners that have some loose parts in it. Fantastic. Next you get this metal wire, some metal tubes and a plastic tube. If you don't know what the metal wire and plastic tube are for, I'll let you know in a bit. But they are probably the oddest thing that I've seen in a kit. After that you get a few more runners, some LEDs, and here is the manual. Again very plain, black and white on some generic papers. And actually some of the guide isn't very clear, in a sense that it's hard to tell exactly where the parts go. And I've noticed a weird thing during building, that some parts have more details in the manual than the actual plastic parts. And did you notice what's not included in the manual? Yeah, they don't show you where the LEDs go. It is excusable if there are only say 2 or 3 LEDs, but there are about 20 that you need to install in this kit. So already at this point it's giving me headaches to sort of assemble this kit. And in the rest of the box are a sheet of water-slide decals. Again, there's no guide for them. And some more runners. So let's get this kit built and I'll talk more in depth about it. So hopefully you can see that the fitting of this kit is just problematic. Some parts is too tight, some parts are too loose. And you can see here that the parts just don't want to stay in place. And in other places I have to scrape up the plastic in order for the parts to fit. And that's quite the general sentiment of this kit. Everything just feels very careless and not very well thought out. Here is a close-up look at the quality of the plastic too. And as you can see, there's just so many tiny imperfections. Also in general, there's just a lot of mold lines and flashes everywhere with the plastic. So it kind of forces people to sand and paint the kit. And just look at the molding of the falcons. Some of the holes aren't even centered and they just look ridiculous. And one of the more serious criticisms I have is that there are actually not enough of those grey detail parts provided. For example, those tubes detail on the shoulders. In total the kit needs 6 of them, but only 4 are provided. So sometimes for third-party kits you get broken parts, or like in odd cases you get like 1 missing piece. But this one just takes the cake on the missing parts because there's just not enough included in the runners in the first place. So here is the kit fully assembled. There are some parts that I didn't include here and some parts I've lost just because of how loose some parts are. And I think part of the challenge of this kit is to not lose any part. Obviously you can just glue everything, but I want to leave the possibility of painting this kit open. And admittedly this kit looks great from a distance. And that for a bust, there's quite a lot of body included in this kit, including the shoulders and parts of the lower body. But that's about the only positives of this kit. I wish that there were more color separations with the plastic. With a kit that has so much red and white, there's only one shade of each color, And again, that just adds to the feeling of laziness and carelessness. All of those negatives can be explained though. You see, this company already had the prototype design done 2 years ago, meaning that they spent the last 2 years figuring out the manufacturing process, which is way longer than usual. And it's clear that they haven't found a good way to make a quality cast, as it's littered with casting issues. I feel like they had lost hope to the project, and having already spent that much money and time into it, they just had to release this half-assed product. And I think the top example of how half-assed it is can be seen here. Do you remember the metal wire and plastic tube? There are actually solder and heat shrink tube. Yes, the LEDs aren't fully wired and they expect people to solder them themselves. I don't think I know any other kit that requires people to do that, and without a diagram of where the LEDs go to. So again, it just feels very lazy of them to literally go like, we'll include some LEDs, but we won't provide a guide, or have some pre-wired LEDs. It just feels like they bought a bunch of LEDs from the factory and just threw them into the box. Here is a size comparison to the MG St. Andrews Stein and the PG Unleashed, and it's quite big as you can see, and it's quite a bit bigger than the Zeta bus by another company too. But the Zeta in comparison felt so much smoother, and you can feel the efforts that went into the production of that kit. So, should you buy this kit? I think the answer is pretty crystal clear. First off, the company has been quite quiet about the release, probably knowing that it would be swarmed with negative reviews. Secondly, this kit retails for almost double the price of the Zeta bus, which is insane considering how half-assed it is. So in summary, don't get this kit. This kit is very carelessly produced. I got it purely because of the size, and I suffered the process so that you don't have to. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I may or may not be painting this kit, I'm not sure yet. Just because I know it will take so much time to, fix all the problems just before painting. But please like and subscribe. I have more projects coming up next. And if you want to see more updates of what I'm doing, you can follow me on my socials on Facebook and Instagram. And that's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.